the fastest growing nation. We've grown at about 8.4%, which is remarkable. We are the fifth largest economy. We'll go on to become the third largest economy in the world. We started off with 356 startups. Today we have 1,40,000 startups. We have about 135 unicorns. More and more Indians must invest in our own startup movement. That is the way forward. But we've done remarkably well as a startup nation. Most countries look at India as oasis of growth in the midst of a very barren economic landscape across the world.
Sir, what do you want to say about the startup ecosystem and the people who are so keen into investing into India, and are they getting that much of incentive or the position to get themselves into the country, globally and domestically?
So startup ecosystem has done very well. We started off with 356 startups. Today we have 1,40,000 startups. We have about 135 unicorns. We've created the third best ecosystem in the world. The startup ecosystem would get a huge impetus from the abolition of the angel tax, which has now been done. We would now require a lot of Indians and Indian pension funds, insurance companies, all to invest in our own startups. 75% of the resources into our startup movement comes from abroad. More and more Indians must invest in our own startup movement. That is the way forward. But we've done remarkably well as a startup nation.
Do you think global leaders think of India's economic upscaling and India going forward for the vision of 2047?
No, so the general feeling is that India is the fastest growing nation. We've grown at about 8.4%, which is remarkable. And we'll accelerate the pace of our growth as we go further. We are the fifth largest economy. We'll go on to become the third largest economy in the world. Most countries look at India as oasis of growth in the midst of a very barren economic landscape across the world. And most countries across the world have great regard for India's acceleration of economic growth. And I think we need to see many more states as champions of growth. We need to see many more companies becoming big in India. We need to ensure that our micro companies become small and our small become medium, and the medium companies go on to become big companies in India. And some of the measures that we have taken, particularly the production-linked incentive scheme, are aimed to produce global champions in India. The more large companies we have, the more backward-forward integration we'll have with MSMEs.